Welcome to feeling healthier and happier by healing the root causes of illness, which are usually your emotions, childhood trauma, your gut, your diet, your liver, burnout, and even generational trauma from your ancestors. I'm your host, Dr. Amit Agarwal, naturopathic doctor, Gestalt trauma psychotherapist, and family constellations therapist. After this show, you're also invited to join my emotional healing retreats around the world and get your free ebooks and courses on holistic medicine, trauma healing, family constellations therapy, and homeopathy at drameet.com. That's drameet.com. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
How are the mind and trauma involved in constipation?
Okay, greetings everyone. We're going to dive into emotional healing, trauma release, liver detox, and homeopathy for gut health, liver detox, and of course, constipation. How does the mind and trauma affect constipation? Well, first of all, we have this beautiful nerve called the vagus nerve, this huge nerve that basically controls your gut, your liver, your heart rate, your breathing, and many other functions in your body. It's the nerve that helps you go into rest and digest state. And if you're resting well and digesting well, then your what we call peristalsis, your gut motility is working well. Yeah, your gut is moving well, and that helps you move your poop out of your body. Right, peristalsis is working. But if you are stressed, yeah, or you're traumatized, and the trauma is not healed, so you're more stressed because of unhealed trauma, then the vagus nerve is impacted negatively. And therefore, it'll send stress signals to your gut and to your liver to be contracted, to hold back. And your liver won't detoxify as well. I'm going to talk about liver bile flow and the importance of liver and bile for constipation. But when your liver is not working well and secreting enough bile, and your gut is contracted and the motility is not working, peristalsis is not working, then you're going to go into constipation. Also, what happens is when your stress levels are super high, your cortisol levels are out of balance. When your cortisol levels are out of balance, your thyroid conversion, your thyroid hormones also start dropping. Yeah, T4 to T3 conversion is compromised. And when we have low thyroid function, all the cells in your body stop working well. So your gut motility is compromised again. And most people with low thyroid function are constipated or have constipation. Your liver needs thyroid hormone to work well. And so if your thyroid hormones are low because of stress levels, high stress levels and high trauma experiences, then the liver will not function as well because there's not enough thyroid hormone stimulating the liver to function well and to secrete bile. So bile flow will be compromised. And bile is a lubricant, which we're going to go into now. Bile is a lubricant that helps with digestion, keeping a healthy microbiome, and it also lubricates your stool, makes it soft and pass through your intestines easily. So I would say 80 to 90% of people with constipation actually have poor bile flow, right? And so that's the importance of liver detox as well when it comes to constipation. But I first want you to understand how the mind and trauma affect cortisol levels, thyroid levels, as well as your liver and the vagus nerve, and therefore affects constipation. So that's kind of like a simplified version of how trauma and stress and the mind affect constipation.
Wow. I think this is going to help a lot of people. And I'm so honored to have you here. Dr. Amit Agarwal, ND, is voted one of the top 43 naturopathic doctors worldwide. He's helped thousands of people around the world heal from trauma, anxiety, depression, burnout, and chronic disease by combining holistic medicine, psychotherapy, homeopathy, and emotional healing. And you can find more about him. And we're going to talk more about that. And right now, oh my goodness, let's dive into this connection between stress and trauma, our mind, our liver, our thyroid, our bile, our gut, and how we can solve these problems. Let's start with
Thanks.
the liver and gut health and homeopathy.
Thanks, Eliza. One more thing I want to mention with the mind and trauma. So I've had a couple of patients who went through sexual abuse and other forms of trauma, and they didn't speak about it until they came to see me. And they also had strangely, well, not really strangely, but chronic constipation. And the day after they talked about their story, their constipation reduced or almost resolved even.
Mm.
Yeah. The day they spoke to their family about what happened, the hidden secret inside of them, right? The constipation lessened. So that's the other side, that constipation can be, of course, a sign of what you're holding in and not speaking about as well.
Wow.
I just want to bring light to that fact as well.
Yeah.
Now, let's go into the liver. So the liver is the master organ of the body, the most important organ that's often ignored, even in holistic medicine. It secretes bile. And like I said, bile is super important for lubricating the stool. And most people with constipation have poor bile flow. The liver also controls hormones. So people with PMS symptoms and low estrogen and estrogen dominance usually have a liver stagnation issue, right? So the liver becomes stagnant because of all the toxins from the environment, all the pesticides we're having, as well as certain medications we're taking, including the birth control pill. Sometimes too much coffee, of course, too much alcohol, etc., impact the liver, right? And the other thing that impacts the liver, most people don't realize, is chronic inflammation. So in my online course, I cover how to heal the gut and chronic inflammation and liver detox. But first, I want to show you that how leaky gut contributes to liver stagnation. So you have a stomach and intestines, and your intestines are like a nice tube, a nice lining, kept healthy by good bacteria and good food. Over time, with antibiotic use, a poor diet, etc., the good bacteria get killed off, and the gut lining gets damaged. And then toxins leak into the bloodstream, and that causes chronic inflammation all over the body, right? So the liver becomes inflamed and becomes stagnant, number one. Number two, the inflammation itself creates toxins in your body. I call it autotoxicity, right? So your liver has to deal with these extra toxins while it's inflamed. So of course, it's going to go into more stagnation, produce less bile, detoxify less, which is going to cause even more toxicity and inflammation, and therefore contributes to poor digestion, heartburn, gas, bloating, and constipation, right? And then, of course, we get the PMS symptoms: breast tenderness, gas, bloating, sadness, anxiety, depression. And I'll talk a bit about how to heal anxiety and depression and why it often goes together with constipation, right? The other thing that the liver does is it keeps your microbiome healthy. The bile salts actually help detoxify certain, what do you call them, mold toxins, right? And it also kills off certain bacteria. The bile salts also help you to break certain fatty acids that are needed for your good bacteria to eat, right? So you can see how important liver function is to gut health, right? So it's important to heal the gut and the liver together all the time, which most people ignore.
So this is fascinating, and I don't want to interrupt your flow, but I'm so curious about the homeopathy.
Okay.
And do you want to, and I'm also curious how the gut healing and the liver healing and our organ healing is balanced with emotional healing. Like, where do you usually start?
So I do it all together. Yeah. So in my course, I cover how to heal the gut with probiotics, vitamin D, certain amino acids. Then I go into more detail about liver detox herbs and homeopathics for the liver, which most people don't cover. And I'm going to cover a few of them here today. Liver detox herbs include a milk thistle, dandelion, bitter foods like, rocket or arugula, what we call bitter gourd as well, your cruciferous vegetables, Brussels sprouts and cabbages, etc. Right? Then you got to have things like beetroot as well, which is high in selenium and glutathione to help with liver detox, right? And of course, enough fiber to bind toxins so they come out of your body rather than get reabsorbed in your gut. And lots of water, of course, to flush out the toxins. And then there's a lot of other herbs that we use to detoxify the liver, but I always include homeopathy in most cases, actually, because homeopathy, which is energetic medicine, helps your liver cells detox at a deeper level, at a more cellular level, right? And that gives you a more complete healing. Not only does homeopathy help heal the liver, but it also helps heal emotions, okay? As well as emotional trauma, as well as your entire system, right? It stimulates your vital force from within to heal everything that's going on for you together, right? Because all our parts of our body are interconnected. Like I showed you how your gut, your thyroid, your liver, and your emotions are all interconnected. Homeopathy is powerful enough to address all these systems together, so everything in your body heals together at the same time, which provides for a more synergistic and complete recovery, rather than focus only on one organ at a time.
That sounds amazing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about where homeopathy came from? This might be a completely new word and idea to people watching.
Okay. So before I go into the remedies, homeopathy developed by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, who was a regular doctor, discovered that while he ate the bark of the China tree, which cures malaria, he ate too much of it. He overdosed on it. He actually got the symptoms of malaria, right? So by eating something in toxic amounts, it creates the symptoms of a disease that it would cure when it's given in small amounts. And that's where homeopathy came into being. And the principle is like cures like. So for example, if I cut an onion and I sniff it, I'll get watery eyes and a runny nose. Now, if somebody comes to me with an allergy, I'm simplifying it, of course, and their allergy has watery eyes and a runny nose, I will give them very diluted forms of onion. So homeopathic onion, I'll tell you how it's made shortly. But the very diluted form of onion will cure the symptoms in a person that are similar to taking toxic amounts of onion. Okay? How is homeopathy made? Simply put, we take a small amount of the substance and we dilute it in water and alcohol, 100 parts. Yeah, I'm shortening the procedure just for listeners. There's other processes in between, but basically we dilute it in water and alcohol. We shake it up multiple times. And then we take a drop of that dilution and redilute it in water and alcohol. Again, we shake that up for a long time. It's called succussion. And then we take another drop of that dilution and redilute it. And this redilution happens multiple times, to the point where there's no actual molecule left of the original substance, just the vibrational memory in the water molecules. And so the power of homeopathy lies in its ability to vibrationally affect our vibrations, right? Because if you think about it, energy creates matter, right? So energy is the starting form of matter. So the way we're vibrating manifests in the way we present ourselves in life. And so if our vibration goes off, then our body's physical manifestation will start suffering and we manifest disease, right? But the beginnings of the procedure is a vibrational distortion. So if you want to get to the beginning of the disease, if you want to heal the root cause, don't only focus on the body and try and manipulate the physical body. Go to the vibrational realm. Heal that with vibrational medicine, or also I use psychotherapy, gestalt therapy, family constellation therapy to heal the mind and the emotions at the vibrational level. And when this vibration heals, then it transmutes into the physical realm, into the physical matter, and the body starts resonating in a healthier state. The vital force improves, and therefore the physical body will begin to heal faster. That's going to the root cause.
Wow. Thank you so much for explaining that so eloquently. And I know I interrupted you a bit.
No problem.
Please
No problem.
continue with your description of how to heal our livers, our thyroids, our constipation, and emotions at once.
Okay. So the key thing to remember is, of course, healing leaky gut to minimize inflammation and using the liver detox herbs. Yeah, that's on the physical realm. And then, of course, to deepen the liver healing, I use the homeopathic remedies. Some of the remedies I cover in the course include Nux vomica, and great for chronic constipation. Lycopodium, excellent for gas and bloating as well. Yeah. And then there's phosphorus, there's carbo veg. There's a whole bunch of remedies that I use. I also use homeopathic remedies to heal emotional trauma, which is extremely important for resetting the vagus nerve, to release emotions that are keeping you constipated or fearful or depressed. Yeah. For example, sepia is great for chronic constipation where somebody has hormonal imbalances as well and who are really burnt out towards their elder years, right? Nature muriaticum is great for somebody who's suffered a lot of loss and grief and goes into a depression, a resentment, yeah, a withdrawing in. They can also often have constipation along with headaches as well. Right. So I individualize the remedies based on the trauma the person's experienced, as well as the unique symptoms of the person. So each person's different. Somebody might have constipation with heartburn, right? Somebody might have constipation that comes out in little sheep pellets. Somebody might have constipation without the urge of going to the toilet. They don't feel the urge. Some people feel the urge. And so each person's constipation is unique. Also, their anxiety, the depression is unique. Some people have anxiety with fear, yeah, or fear of being attacked, or fear of losing a loved one, worried about their loved ones, fear of loss and poverty, right? Based on their unique symptoms, I will give a different homeopathic remedy. And all these are covered in the course. And also, homeopathic remedies for trauma are very important. Whether somebody experiences sexual abuse or financial loss, or arguments with their parents, you know, or divorce of their parents, you know, or bullying at school, or overwork and burnout. Each of these are different impacts on the nervous system, right? So they need different remedies. And the way we're responding, the symptoms that come out of us are also different for each person. So I look at the cause, the type of trauma, as well as the symptoms of the person. I put those two together and decide on the most unique remedy for them. And because we're individualizing it so much, then the remedy works deeper in a person, more completely for a person, rather than giving one blanket remedy.
Wow. I think this is what people need because everyone really is so unique in their experience and even in their biochemistry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what people forget, they're focusing on only healing the body or only healing the mind, right? So by healing the gut and the liver with the physical remedies, then the homeopathy to heal the mind and the energy body, as well as combining that with family constellations therapy. I use EMDR and Gestalt therapy, as well as somatic experiencing to heal trauma and negative beliefs. By healing the mind and body together, people get a more complete healing, a deeper healing, right? And the deeper you heal, the more long-term the benefits are. Because even though you might be using holistic medicine for your body, you might be just suppressing symptoms, right? You might be taking a herbal laxative. Is that really healing the root cause? Is that addressing your emotions? Is that addressing bile flow? No, right? So use holistic medicine with the intention of going for the root cause, whether it's emotional healing or physical healing, but understand what the root cause is. Yeah. It could be a food sensitivity. So avoiding gluten and dairy, right, are important foods to eliminate for some people who are sensitive to those foods because those foods will trigger chronic inflammation in a person, which can contribute to constipation, right? And so I have a whole list of foods called the hypoallergenic diet that I put in the course for people to experiment with and eliminate those allergenic foods as well to see what foods suit them. And also when you eliminate certain inflammatory foods for a while and then reintroduce one or two of them slowly, you're less triggered by these reintroduced foods because you've had a chance to heal your gut. So it's important to really work slowly, heal the gut, the liver, and the emotions at the same time.
That sounds like a lot of freedom to understand the physical and the emotional and how each of them contribute.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What else do we need to know?
Intuitively, what's coming to mind is thyroid function, right? So with low thyroid function, of course, we get lethargy, depression, anxiety, hormonal imbalance, and constipation in many cases, right? And so often the thyroid hormone is from suppressed emotions. One, it's from adrenal collapse. So in the course, I cover herbs to support the adrenal system, which then supports the thyroid. By reducing inflammation as well, like I said, chronic inflammation throws off your thyroid levels through the cortisol imbalance. When we're overinflamed, a lot of people go into autoimmunity. So they get Hashimoto's syndrome as well, right? Where the body just attacks itself. And of course, there's emotional causes for that as well. But we also need to look at after your thyroid when it comes to chronic constipation. Get your thyroid levels checked as well and heal the thyroid holistically. Yeah. Yes, you can take the thyroid medication, it's fine for many people, or even the herbal remedies for thyroid, but is your liver functioning well? You know, because about 60 to 70% of inactive T4 thyroid hormone is converted to active T3 thyroid hormone in the liver. So if your liver is stagnant, right, from inflammation, from emotional trauma, from lack of deep breathing because you're not massaging your liver, right, and from a poor diet, then your conversion of T4 to T3 will also be compromised. So you're going to get subclinical hypothyroidism, right, because you're not converting your thyroid hormones well. So heal the liver along with taking herbs for your thyroid.
Beautiful. So when we have thyroid dysfunction, we need to look deeper and see how the liver might be contributing. And then, of course, we have emotional components that could be contributing to both the liver and the thyroid, both of which contribute to constipation.
Yes.
Wow. A lot of connections here. Thank you so much. And and you also have an emotional healing exercise that you mentioned. Are you willing to share that now?
Yeah, it's difficult to go into a lot of detail with it, but I'll try my best right now. It's on my website for free, so you can go into the deeper emotions by watching the video on my website. But basically, the exercise helps you release negative beliefs about yourself and some of the feelings that you might have, right? So it goes like this. I'll invite you to close your eyes and put one hand on your forehead, one hand behind your head. Anytime you want to lower your hands, that's okay. You can still do the exercise without raising your hands. And then I'll ask you to say certain sentences that end with the words from time to time or the words once in a while. So this is how it goes. I'm going to ask you to repeat this. It's safe for me to feel stressed from time to time.
It's safe for me to feel stressed from time to time.
See, often we resist stress or we label it as wrong and we don't allow our body to complete the stress response. Right? So these sentences, it's safe for me to feel stressed, or you can replace the word stressed with any emotion, anger, jealousy, collapsed, exhausted. So let's try that. It's safe for me to feel exhausted from time to time.
It's safe for me to feel exhausted from time to time.
And so really give yourself permission to feel the full spectrum of the emotion you've been resisting or the thought you've been resisting or judging yourself for. And the words from time to time allow you to dip in and out of the emotion, the feeling, without judging it. Yeah? You give it permission to exist and to let go at the same time. And that creates a huge healing for your nervous system because you're not judging yourself for having normal human feelings. And you can also do positive sentences. It's safe for me to smile once in a while.
It's safe for me to smile once in a while.
And just feel the once in a while. So we're not forcing you to smile. We're just saying it's safe once in a while to experiment with a smile from time to time. And so just give yourself permission, which is very different from positive affirmations, which kind of force you into smiling. This is not what we're doing. We're really allowing the natural flow of your nervous system to experiment with smiling and letting go of smiling if it doesn't feel fully safe or congruent with your emotional state in the moment. It's safe for me to feel sad once in a while.
It's safe for me to feel sad once in a while.
And to let go of shoulds or beliefs from time to time.
It's safe for me to let go of shoulds from time to time.
It's safe for me to be less hard or criticizing about myself once in a while.
It's safe for me to be less criticizing about myself once in a while.
And just feel that. Take your time and just notice what your nervous system tells you. And you can relax your hands, take a deep breath in and out. So I've got a whole list of different emotional states in those videos that you can experiment saying, and you can create your own, of course. And with each sentence, spend a bit longer in the sentence before saying the next sentence, because you just need to really feel your nervous system, experiment with the emotion and let go of the emotion. And what happens is over time, we're doing this exercise, we let go of the narrative, the self-criticizing narrative around our emotions. And we feel more human, more whole as a human being. We go into more self-acceptance. And therefore your confidence grows, your presence grows. Yeah, you're less criticizing about yourself or less shameful about who you are. And that's where we want to get to, right? A more complete sense of ourselves rather than hiding parts of ourselves, squashing parts, not including those parts because there's supposedly something wrong with them. That's the problem. That's the cause of most diseases, is we exclude parts of ourselves that want to show up and live and help us survive.
It takes a lot of energy to suppress parts of ourselves.
It's exhausting.
It takes a lot of energy to not approve of part of ourselves.
Yeah. It's a killer.
Wow. Thank you.
Pleasure.
And I know that I've looked at your videos and there's beautiful, peaceful music in them. And you go into even more depth with this exercise. Is there anything else you'd like to share about this or anything that we've talked about?
Just tuning in, and self-love comes to mind. We've touched upon it a bit today, self-love. So noticing the language you use on yourself. Yeah. I'm too impatient. I'm too self-doubting. I'm too this, I'm too that. A lot of patients come to me with a diagnosis given to them by society or by themselves. Yeah, I'm too much this and that. The intention is they're trying to fix themselves, but they're using a self-harming diagnosis. So I would say, look at yourself and your emotions and your feelings with curiosity. Yeah, those parts of you are trying to help you fit in or survive or to be re-included into society or a community. Yeah, if you're people pleasing, yes, you can criticize it, or you can look at it, gosh, I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to feel love. And then you get more clear on your needs, right? I do need to feel loved. Okay. Don't make it wrong. Respect that need. That inner child needed to be loved and seen and felt, right? Honor that need and do things that support that need rather than squash it away. Okay. So yeah, I've summarized all these steps in free videos on the website, the gut, the liver, the adrenal healing, and the emotion healing videos. They're all for free. And then there's a full course that people can get for all the exact herbal protocols, homeopathic remedies for liver detox, trauma, anxiety, depression. and all the herbs and supplements they use for the liver and the gut as well. And then when you get the course, you help me support community work in Africa. So I really appreciate that as well. And I really wish you the best in your healing journey, but do it with self-love and curiosity, not blame, not self-blame, and not trying to fix a problem. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Every symptom has a biological purpose.
Yes. Is it all right if I ask a few more questions? Small ones?
Go for it. Yeah.
What are you reading these days?
What am I reading these days? I'm reading A Course in Miracles. That's number one. I'm reading a lot of different books on family constellations therapy because I use that a lot in my practice. So that's what I'm reading at the moment. Transformational books.
Thank you for sharing that. And
yeah.
what's something that brings you joy?
What's something that brings me joy? Chocolate. I'm a dark chocolate, not an alcoholic, a chocoholic. I have about 8 different types of cacao powder in my cupboard. And so I mix it with, some chai masala, some cardamom, some clove, a bit of licorice powder, some ashwagandha sometimes. I make a blend of cacao with hot water or sometimes almond milk. That brings me joy. I'm learning Wing Chun, which is a beautiful martial arts that's really somehow intuitively gentle and strong at the same time. And Kundalini yoga. So all these things bring me joy. And of course, good friends as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much for everything you have shared. I know it's changing people's lives as they're watching. And where can people find you?
So the website with the free ebook and videos is on drammeet.com. That's DRAM for Mike, EET.com. And there's a lot of old interviews there as well on family constellations therapy, healing trauma, using homeopathy for different emotions, and some more liver detox protocols there as well.
So many beautiful resources. And you have several books as well that are available through the normal outlets. Thank you for everything. It's been such a privilege to interview you. Take care.
Thanks, Eliza. Thanks, everyone. Lots of love.
Thanks for learning how to heal the root cause. Make sure to also get your free ebook and courses I've created for you on naturopathic medicine, trauma healing, family constellations therapy, and homeopathy at drameet.com. That's DRAMEET.com. Thanks and lots of love.